Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. You know, it never ceases to amaze me how many famous and just incredibly wealthy people, even if they're not particularly famous in like pop culture, in the pop culture sense or anything like that, but just how many people of that caliber are pro XRP and hold XRP and are long XRP, and many have been for years. Many, since they've been around for so long, have actually already made fortunes off of XRP, frankly, because of previous market cycles here. Well, now, just add one more to the list, Jordan Belfort, who is known as the Wolf of Wall Street. He holds a ton of XRP, as it turns out. He's one of the largest XRP holders on the entire planet, actually, as it turns out. And so I want to share with you what he had to say here. But it's interesting, just, I'm telling you, like, if you look at some of these guys, and I always think of, like, for instance, in the world of crypto, there's always, like, Danmoorhead, who runs Pantera Capital, which I believe is the first crypto hedge fund on the entire freaking planet, who says that, look, if you fast forward a decade, there's going to be, like, 8 or 10 cryptocurrencies that exist, and that's pretty much all that you need because you don't need a new form of money for everything else. That's kind of how he looks at it. He says XRP is going to be one of them. And so when asked, like, what does it make sense to invest in, he named a few of the Bitcoins. He said Bitcoin, of course, Ethereum, and XRP. He's always cited that. And he's been long XRP for the longest damn time. There's all sorts of people that get it. So as long as you don't have some sort of weird ideological bend, if you can just look at things with a clear mind and ideology isn't forming your decisions around cryptocurrencies and which to adopt, and you're not a maximalist, it's very clear that there's a lot of opportunity for XRP. So I want to share with you that, along with some other thoughts in general about crypto and XRP. And at the end of the article, I'm going to share with you this article that's unrelated. I just found fascinating. It's from the Daily Hodl. It's titled, Shark Tank star Kevin OLeary aims to nearly triple his investments in crypto ecosystem. See, my friends, there's no reason to be afraid of crypto so far as I'm concerned. There's so much opportunity here. Why is it that why do you think the wealthiest people on the freaking planet, they seem to get it? Then you have the behavior of the typical retail speculator. Just compare the two, and you tell me who's behaving more reasonably. But look, I do want to be clear. I don't have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. And so right here on your screen, this is a picture of Jordan Belfort in 2017, and this is just his Wikipedia page. I'm assuming that pretty much all of you are aware of who he is at this point, but I thought I'd read a couple sentences just in case. And so I just went to Wikipedia because whatever, that's sufficient for the purposes of this video, frankly. But anyway, Jordan Belfort is an American entrepreneur, speaker, author, former stockbroker, and convicted felon. In 1999, he pled guilty to fraud and related crimes in connection with stock market manipulation and running a boiler room as part of a penny stock scam. Belfort spent 22 months in prison as part of an agreement under which he gave testimony against numerous partners and subordinates in his fraud scheme. He published the memoir The Wolf of Wall Street in 2007, which was adapted into a film with the same name released in 2013. That's a great movie, by the way. I actually saw that in the theaters back in the day, 8 years ago. I haven't watched it since. I think it's about time to maybe give that one another whirl. What a great movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. But anyway, I digress. So take a look at this. Jordan Belfort, yesterday, he put out a tweet where he was just talking about how he's going to be in a segment on Fox Business, and he's going to be talking about NFTs and this and that. And then an XRP community member named XRP Ninja jumped in and wrote the following. Hello, Jordan Belfort. Did you get a chance to review the requests from the XRP Army in regards to the SEC vs. Ripple case? Any feedback would be highly appreciated. If you couldn't care less, tell us to leave you alone, and we will. Respectfully, XRP Army. So there you go. I like how he signed for all of us. I'm for it. But he did respond. This is the actual tweet from the Wolf of Wall Street right here, Jordan Belfort. And he wrote the following, which surprised a lot of people. He wrote, I am a large holder of XRP, 6 figures. My TV guy thinks it's the best thing since sliced bread. Thinks it's going to $10,000. I hope he's right, but but I'll settle for $10. First of all, no, XRP is not going to $10,000. That's Looney Tunes land stuff. If XRP ever hits that, that means that the United States dollar has hit hyperinflation, and it's meaningless because when people say XRP is going to $10,000, and there are people that believe that within our community, they're talking about it in terms of today's purchasing power of the United States dollar, not a highly hyperinflated United States dollar. That is not what people are talking about. And no, that's not going to happen. It's not going to get bid up to that level. It's not. And not because of market cap. That's a bogus reason. When people say XRP cannot hit so-and-so price and then they cite market cap, that's a bogus reason. That's not a good argument. I'm saying, based on the way that if you look at how much money could possibly flow into crypto, how much money there is on the entire freaking planet, and then the degree to which cryptocurrencies historically have gotten bid up, my friends, it's not happening. Unless, again, you're talking about hyperinflation, and then $10,000 isn't $10,000, and I don't even care anymore. And you wouldn't either. Like, if $10,000 buys you a loaf of bread and that's it, well, who gives a damn at that point? You know what I'm saying? I just don't see that happening here. You know, hyperinflated currencies. My gosh, I can't remember what currency this was. It might have been like Zimbabwe or something, but I'll never forget this. This is kind of like it's somewhat famous, so some of you might be aware of this. I've mentioned on the channel like a couple times, probably over the years. But there's a picture of a guy, and there's a story associated with this. This guy was like I can't remember what the fiat currency was, but he had a wheelbarrow full of cash. Of whatever this highly inflated fiat currency was. It was just full of mounds and mounds of cash, like overflowing cash in this wheelbarrow. And somebody asked the guy, like, aren't you worried about somebody coming by and stealing all of your money? You know, because it's just right out there in the open. He goes, no, I'm worried about them stealing the wheelbarrow because the money wasn't worth a damn thing. You know, like all that in the wheelbarrow. Like, what could you buy a loaf of bread with it? I don't even know. I can't remember what the fiat currency was, but you know, it's a tale worth understanding because when you abuse and debase a fiat currency, that is the end result. Eventually, that is what happens, and that's what's occurring with the United States dollar. So this won't end well. I don't see any corrective measures taking place, and so there we are. But that's like one of the bazillion reasons crypto is just so enticing because it's scarce. XRP is finite. You know, it's deflationary. XRP is deflationary. It's programmed into it. And so on top of people losing keys, this and that, and so it has a deflationary effect anyway, just like you see with Bitcoin, same thing there. On top of that, it's coded into XRP because a little bit of XRP is burnt with every single transaction. And it's kind of nominal, fine, but it'll add up a little bit over time. It's still something. The point is it's not inflationary, that's for sure. And so, look, and so, you know, what does it take to be in like the top 0.5% of XRP holders? I should have checked before pulling up or record this video. I didn't think to, but it's 100 and something thousand to be in the top 0.5%. I don't know if it's like 140, 150,000 XRP, and that puts you in the top 0.5%. So it sounds like the Wolf of Wall Street is probably somewhere in that range. 6 figures worth of XRP at today's dollars. We'll see how long he holds it. Like, that could easily, this market cycle, make him $1 million or $2 million. That really could. If you're talking about having that much, yeah, $1 million or $2 million sounds perfectly reasonable depending on how high this goes. And I don't pretend to know where XRP price is going to top this market cycle, but based on what we've already seen, yeah, would not be surprised in the very least. Anyway, I thought it was cool seeing this from somebody of this caliber. Whatever you think of the guy, and I know he did some bad stuff in the past, but he's famous. He's part of pop culture, obviously, so it's noteworthy. Take a look at this tweet from XRP community member CryptoBull, who wrote the following. At some point within the next months, I'll be selling my XRP. I just want to clarify this now and in advance. Me selling will be based on my plan and my personal risk assessment after a certain price is reached. Me selling also doesn't mean that I think the price won't go any higher. It will simply mean that I made enough gains that I deem sufficient and which I am not willing to risk to lose. This will look different for different people. Yes, absolutely. You get a golf clap for that one, CryptoBull. Yeah, you're preaching to the choir here. I'll tell you what, I'm exactly the same way. It is my intent to sell the vast majority, if not all of my XRP. Excuse me. And I will be transparent about that. I'm not going to say how much XRP I have. I'm probably not ever going to do it, to be honest with you. Maybe I'll change my mind, but I don't have any plans right now anyway. But I'm willing to share every time I sell, like as I go through this, I'm willing to share when I do it, and I'll probably, when I do it, share with you like what percentage of my holdings that represents. And it may be the case, based on my goals being different than yours, it may be the case that I'm willing to get out of XRP way sooner than a lot of other people, because I'm taking into consideration a number of things: my other crypto holdings, other things I'm invested in, my business. I'm a business owner. I've owned my own company since beginning of 2010. There's all sorts of stuff, you know. And so if XRP and the rest of my crypto holdings becomes worth enough, yeah, I'll just exit. And especially if I can tell that it's a blow off top, I will wait for that bubble to inflate and burst. And even if I sell like a lot below the top, as long as I get out of what I want, I don't care. That's perfectly fine. It doesn't mean I don't think XRP is viable if I do that. It's just that it would represent, if it represents too much of my net worth, I got to do something about that, and I will. But after the bubble pops, if it goes the way I'm thinking, I believe that will occur. Well, I'm going to wait for it to crater down, and then I'll start dollar cost averaging in and buy I'll buy like a metric F-word ton of XRP again in the future then. Like, that's my plan. That's in a general sense, that's what I'm counting on right now. But yeah, don't give people garbage, like people that are pro XRP, like me or anybody else in the community. As you'll see a lot of people finally selling after all these years, don't give them grief. That's the point of this. We want to make money. And that's why, let's be real. Like, that's the core of the reason I got involved in this in the first place. And it's probably true for most of you listening too. So I think that's perfectly okay. And for those of you that want to hold on, maybe you feel different, you have different goals than me. Well, that's fine. Everybody's in a different place. I want to highlight this because this made me LOL. This is fantastic. This is XRP community member Frecky. And I love seeing when he just like highlights stuff about these crap coins out there. In this case, we're talking about Shiba Inu, which actually just the other day, and I made a video covering this. Shiba Inu, whatever you think about it, some people actually legitimately think it's like long-term viable, which kind of blows my mind because it doesn't have any sort of meaningful real-world nothing meaningful anyway. But who knows? Weird stuff happens in life. Maybe you're right. I just don't see it probable at this current moment in time. But it took XRP's spot in market cap yesterday. Like, what in the ever-loving hell is going on here? And if you go to CoinMarketCap's website, here's what it says. And Frecky shared this little screen grab of it, and I verify. Like, it's on CoinMarketCap's website. There's this little about Shiba Inu section. What is Shiba Inu? And here's part of what it reads, and this just made me freaking crack up. I was like, I have to highlight this on my channel. I absolutely have to, and I hope it makes you LOL at least as much as I did. And if you're not in a laughy mood right now, I hope you at least get 2 to maybe 3 chuckles bare minimum. Anyway, here's what it says on CoinMarketCap. Once upon a time, there was a very special dog. That dog was a Shiba Inu, and this dog inspired millions of people around the world to invest money into tokens with the dog's image on it. What in the ever-loving hell? Folks, this is a coin that has a market cap at the time I'm recording this of $43 billion. What in the... Like, how is this real life? Like, how is this real life right now? I love it, though. I'm not mad about this. Like, understand. I love this. I am here for this nonsense. This is completely absurd, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I really would not have it any other way. I mean, look at this. As I'm recording this, it's number 9 in market cap of all cryptos on the entire planet. It's above Doge now by like 5 billion at the time I'm recording this. This is hilarious, folks. This is ridiculous. Don't change crypto. You always be you. Crypto, please, just you always be you. Here's a tweet from my fellow XRP YouTuber, the Bearable Bull. I like this one. This is exactly right. Take this to heart. It's always worth these types of reminders. This is the part of the bull run where people start selling their long-term bags to chase pumps. I remember when this happened in 2017. What followed was that those same coins that were abandoned ended up pumping next. Stop chasing. And he wrote that in all caps. Stop chasing. Let wealth come to you. Exactly. And so here's a rule that I set for myself. If I'll buy whatever the hell I want, but where I'm not allowed to buy something, this is because it's a rule I set for myself, is if a cryptocurrency has already rocketed and it's gone parabolic, even if I had intentions of purchasing it, the answer immediately becomes no. It is off limits. I'm not allowed to touch it. That's the rule I set for myself because I know that how these markets work. Just in a general sense. You don't need to understand anything terribly complex. Just get the general gist of this, and you're good to go. And so, yeah, it could be the case that maybe it does go way, way, way higher, and maybe it would have been safe to buy then, but too frequently it's not. And if you look at the risk-reward situation for stuff like that, the answer is no for me. I'm not willing to risk that. When there's other coins that haven't pumped, why the hell would I do that? In last market cycle, everything pumped. This market cycle, probably just about everything's going to pump again. That's my expectation, because humans appear to be behaving about the same this cycle as they did last time. So what the hell do I care? I'm just going to sit and wait until the money flows into the cryptocurrencies that I already own, and then I will sell them while everybody else is FOMOing in. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen with XRP. It's what happened last time. It happens to every coin. That's what I'm expecting. So we'll see if that's what occurs, but that's absolutely what I'm expecting. And take a look at this too. This comes from Joe Pompliano, who is Bitcoin maximalist Anthony Pompliano's brother, one of his brothers anyway. And take a look at this. This is interesting. It's just an anecdotal thing to look at, but it's a pretty interesting indicator of where we're at in the cycle. Joe writes, Coinbase is #1 in the App Store right now, ahead of TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook. You may want to start paying attention. No kidding. Well, I know you listening, you are paying attention. Coinbase #1. My gosh. That's why I'm paying attention to cryptocurrencies that are getting listed on Coinbase. Let me just say, I'll talk more about that in a separate video, I think, because I don't want this to go on any longer, really. But yeah, Coinbase is something to be reckoned with. Maybe it still is the kingmaker. It was really known as that back in 2017. There appears to be something to that even at this point. Anyway, into this article now from the Daily Hodl. Shark Tank star Kevin O'Leary aims to nearly triple his investments in crypto ecosystem. Look, people, even Kevin O'Leary's come around. He was pro-Bitcoin, then he was anti-Bitcoin, and now he's pro-Bitcoin and crypto. Shark Tank star and billionaire investor Kevin O'Leary is planning to triple down on his conviction in cryptocurrencies. In an interview with Anthony Pompliano on the Best Business Show, O'Leary says he sees big potential in the emerging cryptocurrency space, calling it the 12th sector of the S&P. O'Leary says he wants his operating company to allocate 20% of its capital towards the crypto ecosystem in the future, which would be a massive jump from the current allocation of 7%. And here's a quote from him. This is going to be a 20% weighting in our operating company. Call it the 12th sector of the S&P. That's what it is. And in my compliant world, I can own up to 20% of this sector and be compliant. And that's where I'm going. And so, look, I basically just wanted to kind of highlight, there are people like him, big money, throwing. To me it is. It's a subjective thing to state, but yeah, I'd say that's still pretty big money here. And so it's do you think he's afraid of what he's doing? Because the retail speculators, they get afraid of whatever they have put in. I understand that. Why aren't these people afraid, though? These institutional firms? Because you know why? A big part of it is they realize that even if the worst happens, which would be a bear market, an 80 or 90% crash, they know that crypto's not going away. And so even if they bought at an inopportune time and they had a misstep in that regard, they just buy more as it goes down. That's what they do. And then they'd wait for the market to recover. Simple. Easy peasy. This is not big. That's another reason that I sleep at night too. Even if I'm wrong, and let's say we enter a bear market tomorrow, and I don't think that's happening, but I'm just saying, let's say I'm way off, and that actually does happen, I'll just be like, okay, whatever. I just guess I'm going to buy more crypto over the next few years until the market recovers. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to lose it. I'm not going to sell at a loss, and I'm not going to suddenly think that crypto is going to zero or something like that. It's just this is so easy. Just understanding some basic fundamental things, having the right, the right outlook on all of this, being in the right headspace as it pertains to crypto and investing. It doesn't take that much, and you can just kind of chill and accumulate over a certain amount of time life-changing wealth. And it happens way faster than investing in any other asset class for so many reasons that I've been talking about for years at this point. It's so exciting. I'm endlessly thankful for having gotten into crypto almost 4 years ago at this point. I am so thankful for it. It's one of the very best things that I've done in my entire life. It's way at the top. If it's not #1, it's way at the top. It's something. It's life-changing. It's absolutely life-changing. That opportunity is still here, and it's not going away. Not anytime soon, at least. Even over the next decade, this is where the money is to be made. But you got to think with a sufficient time frame. You got to be disciplined. You got to be in the right headspace, or you going to mess it up. And this is a once-in-a-species event. Eventually, this opportunity will die down, and trading crypto will be just as boring as trading precious metals or stocks. Right now, it's not. There's an opportunity for asymmetrical returns. And so I'm not going to butcher it. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to be messy along the way, but that's to be expected, and that's okay. But I'm going to get mine. I'm just saying. I'll wrap up here, though. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.